So I got asked a question on Instagram, and it went something like this. Should I go to university even if I don't know what I want to do? And my answer to this question is kind of a bit mixed. To be honest, there's a reason for this, okay? University is one of those things that when you go through the school system, the college education system, you're at some point indoctrinated into the idea that you have to go to university to, like get a degree, get a job, pay higher taxes, and like go through this system, right? People really want you to believe that going to university is the only way you can achieve success. You need it to get a job, and of course the only option for making money ever is getting a job and working for somebody else. Complete nonsense. And so I really want you to understand that. But firstly, this is just my opinion, right? Take this with a pinch of salt. And I know you're probably thinking, who is this long-haired, ridiculous man, talking nonsense about university, right? What gives him the right? Well, I could have gone to university, and I did do very well in college. However, I dropped out. I dropped out of college. I didn't do my second year of college even, my A-levels. I only did half of my A-levels. And so what happened, right? Well, I wasn't, on the streets. I wasn't struggling. Basically, I just got a job. I got a job much earlier than any of my friends at the time. And I ended up just learning skills, teaching myself things online, which I'll get onto in a second. But I was fine, right? I was fine. There was no point in my entire life when I think, oh, you know what, I wish I went to university. Because all around me, I had my friends who went to university. And they'd be telling me stories about how like, oh yeah, this week we all got really drunk on a Tuesday afternoon after this lecture, and then we went to this club, and then, and it was just constant stories about like getting drunk and obviously parties, which, yeah, I get that. There's a social element to that, which is good. Meeting different people and having parties and stuff like that, which is good if you're into that. But firstly, the actual stuff you learn at university, you could very easily teach yourself online for free right now. In fact, you can teach yourself better, in my opinion, because you have access to everyone in the world instead of just a few local lecturers who, let's be honest, usually are not world class at what they do. They teach based on a syllabus they're told to teach, not based on their experiences or what they found or researched. And in most cases, they're told from some kind of corporate university board what to teach you. Okay, so that's the first problem. The second thing is let's say if you go to university to study one thing, you're only being taught one particular aspect of that subject instead of, with self-study, for example, personal development, biohacking, health, fitness. With these subjects, I've been taught and I've researched a huge range of different people to learn the things I know. And in my opinion, I've got far better education than you would have got from university studying one particular small, narrow-minded view of that subject. Okay, so then there's another problem, right? And that is the income. Now, by going to university, you're basically subconsciously saying to yourself, the only way to succeed, the only way to make money, and the only way to have an enjoyable life is to get a job working for somebody else after I've spent 4 years getting a degree. You're setting yourself up for failure. And here's why. You don't need a degree to get a job. Nobody does. People, and I know this because when I hire people for my companies, I don't care if they have a degree. I really don't. In fact, sometimes it puts me off because it makes me think you don't really love the subject, because otherwise you would have studied it yourself. You would have maybe, the classic example is, let's say if I'm hiring a writer. And of course, there's loads of English graduates that have just come out of university and they're looking for jobs. But most of them have not written their own books. They don't have their own websites or blogs. They've not been guest writing for other websites. They basically just picked English or picked writing because they were told at the time, yeah, this could be a good degree. It's a safe degree. You might get a job later. I'm going to ignore all of those applications and I'm going to go straight to the people who have already written a book, who have their own blog, and who have their own writing that I can read and see, like, are you actually a good writer? Are you passionate about writing? I don't care about the degree. And this is not just me, this goes for a lot of companies now. In fact, a lot of my jobs, I was hired for high-level positions that I had no experience or qualification, I had experience, but I had no qualifications. I had no degree in marketing, in digital marketing, in sales, in business development. I had no degree in these things. I never went to university to get the degree. I just had experience and I'd started my own companies and websites. I'd done the thing. And this is the key point here, is that if you really love a subject, just do it. And I know this is kind of weird advice coming from some weird, YouTube video, but The truth is, you can just do whichever subject you love doing. Let's say if you really love art, okay? You don't need a degree in art. You just need to start actually creating pieces of art and getting them online and learning how to actually distribute your content to a wider audience. Because otherwise, you're going to spend all this money, and I haven't even got onto the money part of this, right? Debt is literally modern day slavery. You do not want any debt, okay? But aside from the money, just do the thing. Learn how to actually distribute your skills and get paid for it. Now, I could go on for hours about why you should, as you can tell, my opinion is that you should not go to university unless you really want to A, work for somebody else, or B, be really specialized in one thing, like, for example, dentistry, being a surgeon, being a lawyer, things that you can't really study on your own. However, if you want something like you want to become a digital nomad, you want to be a writer, an author, an investor, an entrepreneur, a business owner, or even if you want to just get a typical job, like you want to work in hospitality, or you want an office job or something like that, you don't need a degree for that at all. And in fact, all a degree is going to do is it's going to waste your money, because you'll have to invest 40 grand or whatever crazy fee they're charging now, and you'll waste your time. You'll waste 4 years when you could have been saving, investing, working, building your businesses and traveling the world. And that's exactly what I did. I dropped out of college, and I won't go too much into my story because it doesn't matter what I did. What matters is what you're going to do. But, I dropped out of college. I started several companies. I traveled the world. I started investing in stocks and shares. And, I started learning digital marketing. I started learning personal development, biohacking, health, different languages and stuff. And I just did the things I enjoyed. And every step of the way down that path, I was rewarded. And it's not just me being lucky, okay? There was a lot of hard work involved here. But because I genuinely loved what I was doing, I didn't need a degree. I've never needed a degree. I don't even have a CV. I've not had to work for somebody else for a long time. And the reason for that is that I just decided what I wanted to do, decided I love these things, studied them in my own time, read from a wide range of sources, okay? So just going back to your question, if you don't know what to do, if you don't even know which subjects you want to specialize in, then definitely don't go to uni. Because, what I would say is if you really, really, really want to work for somebody else, and that's a whole other debate, you should not be aspiring to work for somebody else because you're building somebody else's dream. You're never in control. You're never going to be in control of how much you earn, how much time you have. Anyway, that's another debate. But if you were really aspiring to work a job like, for example, a surgeon or a dentist or a healthcare practitioner or something, there's a few different things where you kind of need to go to uni. You need to study it properly. If you want to be a pilot, for example, I'm sure there's, different things where you can't just learn it online. But I would say most people are not one of those people. Most people are in the other camp of people, the 99% or whatever, which you don't need to go to uni. You don't need a degree. I could go all into just how many people I've known who have gone to uni, spent all this money, all this time, graduated with a first, a good degree, a good rating, and they can't get a job. And not only can they not get a job, but they have no idea what to do if they can't get a job. So they end up going on unemployment or working in some restaurant or something that they don't want to do, because they have no idea how to make money on their own. They have no idea what to do if somebody isn't spoon feeding them their education, their income, right? And so unemployment for graduates is going up. Starting salaries are going down. It's not a good time to go to uni, in my humble opinion. But obviously make your own mind up. I hope this answers your question. And I hope this wasn't too harsh, but that's just the truth that I don't wish I was told this because I kind of already knew this. But this is what I would recommend you do. And it's even easier if you have a passion in something, if you're really passionate about a particular thing, let's say you just want to go and travel the world, just go and do that. You do not need a degree for 99% of the things that you want to do.